And a very warm welcome, everyone. It is Writer's Corner Live, episode 6. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So first of all, a warm welcome, good evening to our friends in South Africa, to our friends in Namibia in particular. And we would like to say good morning to our friends in the US. And we would like to say good night to our friends down under. So those of you who are still up, please feel welcome to join us. And if you can't join us live, then please join us on the replay. We would love for you to tell us where you're watching us from in the comments. Please let us know. So the Writer's Corner live show is for authors from all around the world and also genres of all types. On this show, we get authors together, we get authors' audiences together, we introduce you to well-seasoned published authors, we introduce you to aspiring authors and readers, we let you know what's available, and we tell you the story behind the story. So we've published a bit of background to our guest today who's featured, Clarice Sonblom. She's from Namibia. She is a mom and a grandmother, and she is well published. I'm not going to waste any more time because I'm keen to hear her backstory. So without any further ado, I am going to welcome on screen. Hello, Clarice. Welcome. How are you today?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain. And it's nice to have someone that's on the same time zone. I often have people and we're on different time zones. So it's lovely to know that we're on the same time zone.
Yeah, we are back now at the same time as you guys in South Africa. Yeah.
That's fabulous. I am dying to know more about your story. So your first book, apart from having written so many articles in newspapers for a good number of years, you launched your first book in 2015 called Rehoboth, Waar my Hart Is. And to our English-speaking friends out there, I guess a direct translation would be Rehoboth, where my heart is. Is that correct?
Yes, 100%. 100% correct.
And for those of you that don't know out there, Afrikaans is a language that's local to Namibia and South Africa.
Yeah. But Brigitte, sometimes when I speak to people in English about the book, I also tend to call it Rehoboth, Where My Heart Is. Yeah.
I think that's a very difficult switch to make when you're thinking in one language and speaking in another. It's very easy to kind of make that mistake. I want to just start off by saying a very warm welcome to Ray and Lindsay Vogt, who's watching us from Namibia, from Rehoboth, she says.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
They can see us.
Yes, they can see us. They can see us.
Great.
So tell us a bit about, first of all, where is Rehoboth, and what's the story behind writing the book Rehoboth?
Yeah. Rehoboth is my birth town. It is just 90 kilometers south from our capital, Windhoek. Now, that's actually where I come from. Now, I'm living here in Swakopmund now for almost 19 years. And it's all about missing the warmth, the sun, because I'm a sun person. I love the sun. And most of the time here, it's just mist and clouds and so on. So it was really kind of just longing to be there back again in my hometown. But then the other thing was also to write about our stories. Our town has a lot of stories to tell. There are tellers. But when that was the first intention. But when I got there in Rehoboth for a month, and wanted to talk to all the older generation about those stories. I found that they can tell the stories still, but they can't, bring it over that well anymore. That's now our older generation. And that's why I decided, okay, let me just tell my own stories. And this is all just about my childhood.
I love that. I met up with a lady called Valerie Woodgager a couple of months ago, and I must connect the two of you because I think you'll get on like a house on fire.
Okay.
She's a wonderful English lady, and she started this group or organization called Learn with Grandma.
Okay.
And her passion was that the stories we grew up with, the stories we tell mustn't die. And so it's incumbent on the grandmothers to tell these stories, to tell it to their grandchildren, so that their stories can perpetuate throughout the generations. And that's where the Learn with Grandma came from. And so she's very passionate about getting people to tell their stories. And she'd love what you've done.
Yes, you must hook us up.
I will. And so is your family still in Rehoboth? Your extended family?
Yes, the bigger part of my family is still in Rehoboth. My parents are not anymore, but my brothers and sisters, some of them still live in Rehoboth. And some of the people also that I wrote about in the book are still in Rehoboth.
So what I want to ask you is, prior to your getting published with Rehoboth, Waar, Hart Is, you were an avid columnist. Did that make it easier for you to write your first book? Would you say that made a difference?
Yes, definitely it helped a lot. But I must say, I always knew that I wanted to be a writer. I always knew that. So it actually, it came easy. It was not difficult to do that.
And Didi Olivier says hello.
Hi, Didi. Didi is far, far away from here.
So for anyone, this is what people always want to know. If they want to get started as an author, how easy was that for you to get published, or was it a difficult journey with your first book?
With the first book, it was definitely very difficult. I actually wanted another publisher or a publisher per se to do this for me. In the end, I end up self-publishing. That one was self-published because it is, especially here in Namibia, it is a little difficult to find a publisher that will take you, from the beginning to the end. So I end up publishing that one myself.
And did you have to guide yourself, kind of do the research yourself, or did you have a mentor that helped you to self-publish?
Oh, my dear. I helped myself through everything. I was so, how can I say it? I was so attached to my little baby. I didn't even want another person to edit it. I was the writer, I was the editor, I was the publisher, I was everything with that one. But I did a lot of research, and self-publishing these days is very easy, and it's actually the norm.
What was the experience like for you when you actually got published the first time? Because a lot of writers say that when you're writing, when you put yourself out there, you're actually bearing your soul to the rest of the world. How did that feel for you? Was it scary or was it exhilarating?
It was absolutely exhilarating. It wasn't scary. It was such a wonderful place to be. And I knew that I had a lot of support from especially the people of Rehoboth, because they feel just like me to tell their stories, you know, and to keep the stories for our generations still to come. So I was not scared, and I had the support of my husband and my close family, my children. So yeah, it was an amazing journey.
That was going to be my next question, because a lot of people say that the support of their family was very integral to their success. Because obviously it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication. And if you don't have the support at home, it could be a lot more difficult to get published.
Yes, that's very true. I'm so grateful for my husband. I know that he spent a lot of time alone while I was alone in here writing, but he knew that is my biggest passion. So he was all for me, and he understood until now, because I'm busy all the time. I'm just writing. I'm living my dream right now.
That is fantastic. I really love that that your family has been able to rally around you. So how did that lead into your second book in 2016? Now that was fast, because you published your first book in 2015, and then you released your second one that you started to work on, Basterpoeding vir die Siel.
Yeah.
And I don't know if my translation into English, for the sake of our English listeners, is going to be correct, but it's something like, and don't laugh at me, but I went with hybrid / half-bred dessert for the soul.
That's a lot. Sorry. That one, yeah, we started out with that one in 2016, but we only launched it this year, 2018, this year. The reason why I embarked on that one was because I found that with the first book, that my people, especially people from Rehoboth, they wanted to tell their stories. They were eager. They just want to, to share their stories with people. In the beginning, the concept was like chicken soup for the soul. If you can remember, Jack.
You know, that was exactly. I didn't want to sort of say chicken soup for the soul, but
yeah.
But to me, that was kind of the best translation into Afrikaans. But I kind of thought, here is something. I mean, you could have called it hoendersop vir die siel, but it would just not have had the same oomph as your title, because it's uniquely Afrikaans and it's something that your audience can relate to. But it has, to me, it conveys the same feeling as chicken. It's heartwarming. It's embracing.
Yes. You are absolutely right. So yeah, that's where it started.
And then I also just want to say that you received awards for both those books. I mean, that must have warmed your heart, because to get recognition for your first two books that you got published with, and especially because your first one was self-published, is phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm also very chuffed about that. I'm so pleased, and I'm proud. And even my co-writers, they it's their first time. They are up and coming, and for them also to be part of this was absolutely phenomenal. We are just so proud and happy.
That is fantastic. Is there a theme that goes through the books from Rehoboth, Waar My Hart Is, to Basterpoeding vir die Siel, and now you're working on Stemme uit Namibia, or in English, Voices from Namibia? Is there kind of a central theme to them, or are they all unique stories?
You know what happened with Stemme in Namibia? It was all the people that were nominated or that got rewards. Where I was also in Rehoboth, Waar my Hart Is. So they called upon all of us that got rewards that year, 2016. And so that 4 of my stories that was in or appeared in Rehoboth Waar my Hart Is. You see that I'm doing that also. Rehoboth Waar my Hart Is. 4 of those stories are also in Stemme uit Namibia. So yes, that's how that happened. But Basterpoeding for Siel is more. It's it's a mixture. It's a cocktail of stories, different stories. That's also where the name Basterpoeding comes in, because it's such a lovely dish. Also, if you think about it as a dish, you can dish it up formal, you can dish it up at a braai, even at a dinner, even warm, also cold as a salad, and so on. So the stories is so diverse in the book. So yeah, that is the whole concept.
And the people that work with you, the aspiring writers, are they all new to writing? Was this a form of you mentoring these writers?
Yes, I think two of them were already published, but the rest were up and coming. It was their first time, and yeah, I was the mentor in this project. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now I want to get to a project that you are currently working, entitled Letters to My Son,
Yes.
which is still, I believe, a project in working, and that you're co-authoring with him. Tell us a bit about this book. Without giving away too much, but just tell us how.
Yeah.
The title is somewhat telling. So just explain to us what got you to the point of wanting to write about something personal. Because generally people don't write about their children because it's personal, it's private. You don't want to share that with the world.
Yes.
What is it that's different about this relationship that made you want to write about it?
I think it's the victory we experienced in the end. My son and I had this relationship, love and hate, for a long time after he returned from London, where he was working, on that working holiday thing. And he changed when he came back. And I mean, people change, but he changed in a lot of ways. And I was kind of upset. Maybe upset is not the right word, but we always had this volatile relationship after he returned. Then we love each other, and then we hate each other, then we oppose each other, and it was like that. But in the end, I accepted him the way he was then, and love conquered everything. So we had to forgive each other and accept each other, and there was reconciliation. So I thought, if we can write a book to help other people, other parents, for example, in their relationships with their children, because children change, we taught them the best we can, but then they go away, or they go somewhere. They come back, and those things that we've taught them is not important to them anymore, or they've got another view, a very different view from yours. So yeah, but the wonderful thing about this book is that both of us are writing together. I write, he writes, and we talk to each other, but the lessons in here is actually to help other people.
Well, I absolutely love that because, you know, the relationship between a parent and child is very unique to start off with.
Yes.
And children have a unique ability to challenge you in ways that no one else can.
Yes. They are our biggest teachers.
They absolutely are. I always have this big laugh. I say, you know, when you're a new parent, you kind of have this notion in your head that my child is going to be a replica of my husband and myself, and you know everything's just going to be so wonderful and dandy. And lo and behold, the minute that little bundle of joy is born, you realize one's got a personality, and you know you can influence, but at the end of the day they become their own beings.
True.
And they make up their own minds, they become adults, and things are from then onwards it's completely out of your control. And sometimes it can be a huge shock to us as parents when our children choose to adopt something that's completely foreign to what we've been exposed to.
Yes. Yes, and that's exactly what happened to us. So maybe I wasn't prepared for it. I don't know. But when he came back from overseas, it was you know, it was just war between the two of us, and we are actually such a close, we have such a close relationship. So yeah, it was very tough. But now that looking back, yeah, that is the biggest reason. Looking back and see how we actually, you know, have found victory over all our problems. Now I think we can share with other people.
That is fantastic, and I really am looking forward to having that book on the shelves as well. When can people expect to get that book? Any idea?
That will most probably be the end of next year, because it's still in the beginning phases.
Okay, well, so that's a huge project in the making.
Yeah,
and then I believe you're also working on another Afrikaans novel about the Fish River Canyon. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, oh wow. I wanted to bring Namibia on the map a little bit, and that's the reason for having this story, you know, in the Fish River Canyon. But it's just a novelette, they call it these days, just shorter than a novel, but it's for a competition actually. I've entered a competition, and yeah, please hold thumbs for me so that I can get that prize. But yeah, it's yes.
The Fish River Canyon is well known. I mean, if you I think you have to. The last time I checked, I don't know, but the last time I checked, if you wanted to go and do the Fish River Canyon hike, you had to book almost a year in advance.
Yes, that's true. Yep. It's true, yeah, and you have to be very fit to also do that. You have to have a doctor's certificate to be able to do that. Yeah. So.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Is that a new thing?
Yes, yes. And there's a lot of research going in there, because I was never on that hike ever, but my daughter went on it for a few years back. So yeah, I'm getting information from her, you know, real life. She's telling me everything what went, because it's a 5-day hiking trail, and it's actually very tough, they told me. But yeah, it's a love story. It's a beautiful story, and I hope I've just got big things for that story.
Guys, go and Google the Fish River Canyon in Namibia. In fact, just go and Google Namibia. You will be amazed. It is a beautiful, beautiful country. It's simply 2 hours flight away from Cape Town. It's literally the same distance between Cape Town and Johannesburg. Just a 2-hour flight away. But you will not. It is an amazing country. It has got a unique beauty. You have to put it on your bucket list, right up there with coming to visit Cape Town. You have to go and see Namibia. Put it on your bucket list. Go Google it. Go have a look at the pictures. It's a fantastic place to go and visit. You will absolutely enjoy it. And if you fit and you're up for the Fish River Canyon, you have to book it a year in advance. But it's an awesome hiking trail. Almost everyone I know of that's done the Fish River Canyon has walked away with so many stories, and it's something they will forever treasure.
Yeah. And they will, of course, have to also read my story.
Looking forward to that. And lastly, you are also launching your own omnibus in October. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've already written 2 stories for the omnibus, and I'll be finished by October, maybe early in October, and launch it by the end of October.
Congratulations. That is wonderful.
Thank you so much.
So
I'm always writing.
If you've got a quick tip for somebody out there who would like to who is an aspiring writer, what would your advice be for them?
It's a craft. It's something that you have to practice every day, and I'm sure if you are an aspiring writer, you must love to write. So, and read. You cannot write if you're not a reader. So read a lot and write a lot. And don't worry too much about writing correctly. Just write, let it all out. You can edit later, but write and read. Read is very important.
So it's really just get started.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've gotten to we're almost at the end of our show.
Yes.
So for the last 2 minutes, I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
I'm already in the hot seat.
And ask you our quick fire questions. They're just really, really fun questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here's our first hot seat question. What is one word that you use too much?
It's not a word, but it's
So it's a mannerism. It's a mannerism. Next question. What is one book that everyone should read?
Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert.
Lovely book. Good choice.
Yes.
What is one thing you can't live without?
My lipstick. My lipstick.
I think that's true for most women. What's your favorite musician? Or who's your favorite musician?
Lennox.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
I actually eat everything, so what was ever weird? Nothing.
Nothing weird. You eat everything. Okay, last question. What is the phrase that defines the way you live your life?
Happy.
What defines you?
Sure. I try to be always happy, so I don't know. Yeah, happiness, what I stand for, and then also forgiveness is my religion. So forgiveness is very, very important in my life, and if I can, live that on a daily basis, that will help to define me. Maybe not define me now already, but help to define me.
Fantastic. This was so much fun. I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Ray and Lindsay, to Didi, Olivier, to Corinda Singh, to Jacoba Bierkus, also Loretta van Wyk, Nicolaas Olivier. I hope I haven't missed anyone. To everyone who's watched the show live today, thank you for joining us.
Thank you all for watching.
It was great having you on the show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing of yourself and your stories. And
thank you so much.
What I've done, everyone, if you'd like to find out more about Clarice's work, if you look in the description below the broadcast, you will see her social media links. So please do go along and check out her work. And so thank you very much. Clarice, it was fantastic. It was awesome. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please share the broadcast. Have a great evening and a great afternoon further. So from myself, Pajetti in Cape Town, it's goodbye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.